In this video, we're going to give you a trade proposal, not mine, not my idea, but we're going to talk about it. And as you know, the Mets have a problem with their bullpen, and this video starts right now. All right, as you know, the Mets lost Edwin Diaz to the season. He hurt his knee, tore his ACL at the World Baseball Classic, and he is gone. He's gone for the season. Skadoosh, out of here. So now the Mets have a bit of a hole, a big hole, at the end of the game. However, they have David Robertson that can close games out. They get Adam Ottavino, which I'd be a little nervous about him late in the game. I know he pitched well last year, but it's a little more responsibility going late in the ninth inning. But but David Robertson will be the guy until further notice. But a name that's popped up, and I would mention that the Cincinnati Reds said this a couple of days ago, or last week or whatever it was, that the New York Mets had not contacted them recently about Edwin Diaz's brother, Alexis Diaz. Now, Alexis Diaz pitched in the World Baseball Classic too, and he blew like a big 3-run lead for Puerto Rico that lost them the chance to play in the finals. So, just keep that in mind. He is not nearly as accomplished as his brother. He's only played 1 year in the major leagues with a really bad team. How would he handle it here? Just off the surface of it, we know his brother did not pitch well the first year. It took him a few years to really get himself going. And now he's the best reliever in baseball, but he's hurt this season. So people have been asking, well, what is it going to take? What is it going to take for the Mets to make a trade for Alexis Diaz? And obviously they would have to give up young players for him. The Reds are not going anywhere anytime soon. They are in a big mess there in Cincinnati due to the fact that the owner doesn't want to spend money. They want to retool or rebuild or whatever. I'm going to read you what Mets Mirage, which is a pretty good site, and you can check it out if you want to. So let me just read you some of it. And now, here we go. Edwin Diaz's season-ending knee surgery during the WBC leaves the Mets bullpen one short as they prepare for the start of 2023. Rumors are starting to resurface about a potential trade for Edwin's younger brother, Alexis Diaz. Now, there was all kinds of rumors before the trade deadline, and the Mets were trying to get him. But obviously, the price was too high. Again, he is a young reliever, unproven in the major leagues. Relievers are up and down most of their careers. Unless you're talking about these legendary guys like Dennis Eckersley, even he was a star in the beginning, or very few relievers are up and down, are solid throughout their whole career. Only Mariano Rivera was solid through, especially the beginning part of his career until the end. John Heyman of the New York Post reported that the combination of Kevin Parada and Alex Ramirez could be what it takes to get a deal done with the Reds. Parada, the Mets' number 3 prospect, and Ramirez, their number 4 prospect, are two pieces of the puzzle the organization does not want to part ways with. First of all, again, you do not trade top prospects for a young pitcher. He's a young pitcher, but he's a middle reliever right now. He's not established himself as a big-time closer. He's just getting his feet wet. So you're asking a lot from the Mets farm system to have to give up 2 big pieces. Kevin Parada is a future major league player. Either he would be behind the plate for the Mets, or he will be on the Mets at some point, either in left field or in some other position. And Alex Ramirez, there's a question mark about him, but with Kevin Parada, there doesn't seem to be any question about his abilities to, in terms of his character, in terms of his ability to hit. Where he's going to play defensively, that's a question. But there's not a lot of questions about him on one side of the baseball. So you're willing to give up. This guy was considered a top 5 prospect before the draft last year, and he fell to the Mets' laps. I don't know if I want to do that. The article continues. Even the Mets are unable to agree to a deal for Diaz. The expectation is that they will be searching for upgrades in the bullpen as the season unfolds. Newly signed David Robertson is expected to step into the 9th inning role, and former Tampa Bay Rays Brooks Raley is going to be an important piece to the lone lefty in the bullpen. Adam Ottavino did close a few games for the Mets on his way. You got to be careful. Again, he can melt down. We didn't see him melt down too much last year for the Mets. The Mets were able to manage him a little bit. But he can melt down sometimes. He has that sort of reputation, especially when he was with the Yankees. His reputation to do these sort of complete total meltdowns as a player is known. So the Mets have to be very, very careful with him, especially late in the game. We saw that in the one game the Mets won last year in the postseason, that he struggled to get outs in the ninth inning against the Padres. And the Mets had a big lead in that game. So just keep that in mind about Ottavino. He's a good guy for the seventh inning, maybe eighth inning, but really the ninth inning, you stay away from him. But David Robertson, the only thing that holds him back in terms of the Mets really doing great things is his age and the fact that they have to manage him a little bit from game to game. You can't pitch him 3-4 times a week. And I don't know if you can sort of, maybe you can pigeonhole him a little bit and the eighth inning like the Mets were doing with Diaz. But I don't know if I would do this trade. I think this is way too much for the Mets to give up for an unproven reliever in Alexis Diaz. That's my opinion. You can put your opinions in the comments section. And, of course, I'll read them, and I always write back if I can. And really, to me, that's just too much. I wouldn't mind giving up Ramirez. But Parada's a different story. Parada could be, a very good player. So, thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to the Baseball HUD. Thank you, and I'll see you later.